That's right.
Me too.
Did you visit
Yes,
our green
right.
room?
We should have met earlier and gotten makeup.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm
Think
trying
about
to
that.
hide the dirt in my nails from weeding.
I
I was
didn't get
over
one
in
one.
Essence trying to scrub them.
Are you serious? So our makeup team didn't get in touch with you guys? It's so weird. That's strange. Our hair people?
Wardrobe.
Our wardrobe. Are we on, can you hear us? First and foremost. Before we really start talking, I want to make sure, a little sound check, make sure as Katie steps out of the room. But then there will be an echo. So
How'd you end up here?
We asked. We said, hey, well, actually, my husband Kevin was like, you guys, when we were moving away from our last live place on Holcomb.
Where was that?
At the old, the original general store.
Oh, yeah.
23 South Holcomb. So we were leaving there, and Kevin's like, wouldn't it be great if you were on Main Street? And, just have this, like, hometown,
Right.
even more of a hometown feel. And then reached out to Ann and Kurt, and they said, yeah, give it a shot. I said, okay.
They're so wonderful.
I
They'll do
know.
anything.
I know. I was actually like, this is the longest shot, and like, this is a crazy, in my email, this is a very crazy idea, and, we understand. It's like, and they're like, yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
What? It's one of those, like, the dog that chases the car.
Right.
You're like, oh, okay, we're going to do this, and we're going to be here, and I mean, this is our second time, so
Yeah.
we feel pretty grateful.
Yeah, cool.
Lucky, and love this,
They're very generous. They're
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
They
Absolutely.
really are.
We did-
People have no idea. That's why I get so mad when people disparage them. They have no idea how generous they are.
Yeah.
People don't know that they feed the election workers.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's good to know.
Election workers get lunch, they bring in lunch, and then they get a menu. Now, this is village and township.
How do I sign up?
And then they get a menu and get to order dinner.
Wow. That is really good.
At all the precincts?
Yeah,
Wow, that is super great.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
That is good, Sean. More people should know that.
Yeah, they
We
should
just
know
told
that.
them. So
Oh, we just so we are live. Oh,
Yes.
well, I'm glad
Yes.
that was
Yeah.
recorded.
Yes.
So we're live here today, our second episode at the Wood Shop. And again, we've just mentioned we're really grateful to the Catellos for letting us set up here, because it's a really cool venue.
Yeah.
But today, we have Carol Eberhardt with the many, many other things she's done for the city. We could probably get into that in a whole other podcast.
That includes up to being the mayor,
Up to
right?
and
What did you say?
including-
you
Mayor,
were?
city manager last gig.
Okay.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Many, many hats. And this one today is the Clarkston Arts
Arts.
Council. And then Brandon still also does a million zillion things, but today representing Main Street
Clarkston, 501c3.
501c3. So I'm really excited because a family friend, you guys know Mary Hart?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mary Hart. She said, you guys need to have someone from the Arts Council in. I said, oh, yes we do.
Yeah.
And here we are.
So
So,
I just saw Mary last night.
did you?
Yeah.
So her
Super
daughter
gal.
is married to my brother.
Oh,
So yeah, love them, love the Heartsies.
yeah.
So this is for you, Mary. We're doing it, and thanks for the suggestion. But
Yeah,
so
thanks.
we're really happy you guys are here, and you can talk about all the great things that are coming up that we, as a community, can participate in and look forward to, hearing about. So tell us what the scoop is.
Well, you kick it off. I
Well-
saw your Facebook post, and I feel like that got
Right.
this started.
I always wanted some sort of music busker event in downtown Clarkston. So before COVID, a small group of us formed. There was like 4 of us, and started meeting, trying to figure out how we were going to do it. And then COVID hit. And so things kind of obviously fizzled down, and not much happened. The Arts Council survived COVID, but barely. I mean, if it wasn't for a really dedicated group of volunteers, the council probably would have died and either had to be restarted. But no, these dedicated volunteers continued. I was recruited about a year and a half ago because they were looking for someone to help them reorganize, so to speak, because I actually started the original Clarkston Arts back when I was city manager. I wanted an arts group, I just didn't want to do it. So I came up with the idea and then recruited some volunteers, and they took off. They did some things. So I never let go of the buskers idea. So at one of the board meetings, I said to them, what do you guys think? And they said, it's a great idea, but we don't know. I said, I'll do it. So I put a Facebook post looking for volunteers. Brandon was our only volunteer.
Yeah, Brandon's like the number one volunteer in Clarkston. If anybody
It
needs
was
help, this is the guy.
perfect. It was absolutely perfect. I mean, when he volunteered, I was like, yes. So then it dawned on me. I knew Carcatello, and I knew Brandon was associated with her in the Main Street program. And I thought, man, this would be a really good collaboration if he'd be willing, rather than coming in just as good old Brandon Still, Main Street, Clarkston.
Yeah.
So they get some notoriety. But Main Street Clarkston is really there to help the businesses. So this event is perfect because it helps businesses on a night. We very specifically picked a slow business night for this event and a non-pine knob night.
Right.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smart, yeah.
Right.
So-
I wanted to just back up to what buskering,
Right.
even is. So like Ann and I have had this discussion multiple times because Ann's familiar and I'm not, and even just saying it has been like a thing for me.
Right.
So for those of us that are not familiar, tell us everything we need to know about
Brandon's
busking.
the perfect.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny because when we're going over names and we're working with Bill Arnold, local musician, 110 Trolley. We're like, oh, let's call it Buskfest because everybody knows what busking is. And then it was like, no, actually, they don't. So we have the definition on the flyer.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool. So basically, it's street performances in hopes for voluntary donations. And the history of it goes back to ancient Rome. People would perform on the streets and, have their hat out sort of thing, and people would throw in money. In Edinburgh and around the world, there's a thing called Fringe Fest, which is very similar. All kinds of street performers who are out there juggling, playing music, whatever it is. And so busking is the music, it's the musicians out with their guitar cases open, their hat, a tip jar. This one is a little more organized, so it's kind of organized busking. We know who's going to be there and who's coming. And it's a fun format, so it's really cool. We have 9 different local musicians, all from Southeast Michigan. Incredibly talented. I mean, these are people you're going to go see at 20 Front Street and all the big venues who are coming out. They all have donated their time as part of the inaugural event. So we do highly encourage that attendees bring some cash to throw in their jars. Kind of fun, and it'll be a wonderful night.
Do a lot of them this may sound like not in the essence or spirit of it, do they do like Venmo, do they do cashless stuff? I feel like
Yes.
maybe that's part of how it's changed.
I think that is a big thing. So most of them will have their own, QR code for a Venmo or a PayPal. There might be some T-shirts or some CDs out there if you still do CDs.
Right. We know 110 Trolley does, right?
Yes.
We got
You did, yeah.
Yes.
Were you at their Holly Trolley?
Yes.
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 Yeah.
So they, they went to all these Salvation Armies and bought CD players.
Get out of here.
And, the plug-in
Really?
ones, and then they got all these Michigan musicians to donate CDs. So as a raffle giveaway, they raffled off a CD player with 5 or 6 CDs, and I said, "There's no excuse not to listen to them now." So it was a lot of
That's
fun.
great. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when is this event?
It's July 30th,
Okay.
and actually a week from today.
Yeah.
Oh, so you picked Tuesday, you said a
We
slower
picked
business
Tuesday
day.
specifically. We found out from the local restaurants that Tuesdays is typically a slow night.
Okay.
So when I went around and started talking to the restaurants, they were like, oh, that's a good night. I suggested to everyone, if possible, to do something with a bar outside. Now, Honcho has a bar outside already. I'm guessing the Union might open up the downstairs bar that's in the basement. Not sure what the Fed's going to do. Suggested they have food that is walking food. So I know Honcho has somebody that she's put in charge to kind of spearhead what they do. but we're really emphasizing that we're a social district, so it's perfectly fine to buy a cocktail, buy a drink, and walk around
Yeah, that is great.
in a designated area.
I was just searching up the website because I knew that I had seen something, and this is what I wanted to share. It said, so what you guys have on your website is 3 to 4 musicians playing at various locations on Main Street, including the steps of 2 South Brunch House, outside of North End Market Candle Bar, Kinetic System Bicycles, and more. Each performance will last approximately 1 hour. You can bring a chair and sit for the whole set or take a few songs and then find another artist to enjoy. There will be 9 total artists throughout the night.
Yeah.
What time does it start? You may have already said this.
6 to 9, right?
Yep, 6 to
Okay.
9.
So how does it work with all these artists kind of in a small area?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way to make sure like I can hear you performing at 2 Brunch House, but I also can like, they don't mingle, like the sounds don't overlap?
So there will be very small amplification, battery run sort of thing. So it's enough that if you're standing on the corner over here, you can hear without straining, but it's not a sound that's going to carry all the way down Main Street like you might see at Taste of Clarkston or something like that. So there'll be a pocket of sound around each person, and then enough background that somebody who's kind of walking down the street will pick it up and kind of figure out where they want to go.
And then we'll have little maps for people.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a
Little
good
directions.
idea.
Clark, we're going to set a tent up
Okay.
in the parking lot next to the candle place, so people can get information if they need to.
Yeah.
Know that it's Main Street, Clarkston, and Clarkston Arts that's doing the event. Be able to talk to folks about who we are,
Yeah.
whether or not they want to get involved, which, interestingly enough, I know at my board meeting last night, several artists said, oh, we've had people contact us wanting to know how they can be part of the next one.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I've got
Oh,
2
really? That's
contacts.
super
Yeah,
cool
it's
idea.
like, wait, how come, is it too late?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but if this goes well, we'll do it again.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, it's kind of, it goes together pretty easy. But
Yeah.
thank God, Bill.
Bill's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we agree. We like he came on our show. We
Yeah,
loved
Yeah.
Yankees our little theme song.
My town?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So can you reveal all the artists, or is this something like
Yes.
TBD? Like,
Yeah.
can we give them a
I think
shout out?
I've written their names down enough, so I'm
Okay.
hoping that we'll get through
It's
it
a
in
quiz.
one go. So Bill Arnold, one-ton trolley, Frank Grimaldi, who's in Slowfoot, Robert Lewis Jr., who's kind of new to me. I've followed him on Facebook for a long time. He has some awesome songs. A local younger girl, Ellie Chamberlain. She's going to be performing. She's a later addition to the crew, and we're really grateful she could do it. College student. Reggie Harrison and Steve Taylor. Steve Taylor plays all over. He's from Lake Orion, I believe. He's all over the place. So really happy that he's coming. Mike Ward is coming in from Detroit. And when I reached out to him, he's a huge supporter of anything music. I was like, I know it's a long drive, and he just immediately was, yes, I want to do it.
That's cool.
And then Bob Anders is Clarkston local. Was that 9?
I think it's 8.
No. You didn't want to forget one person.
No, I don't know.
Jackie?
Taylor DeRoos. Jackie had said yes and then had something come up where she couldn't do it. Taylor runs a company called Taylor Harmonies in Waterford, and she does music classes
Oh, that's right.
for
Yeah,
kids.
she's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, she's really cool. So a bunch of amazing local musicians. Really excited to have all of them. Mostly kind of acoustic, folksy sort of music. So
Yeah.
a guitar and a singer sort of thing.
Nice.
Ellie Chamberlain, is that the right name? Does she just perform at concerts in the park? Does that seem? I'm trying to think of where I know that name from. Maybe not.
She's local Clarkston High School. I think she's
Okay, maybe I'm thinking
maybe a
something.
junior or senior
somehow
college.
That name seems so familiar.
Yeah.
And then I think One Ton Trolley is performing this Friday at
Yes.
concerts in the park also.
They're at a rain date.
Yes.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. And they, I just heard that they have a dunk tank on.
Yeah, I read that on
For
Facebook.
Yeah.
Is it Kendall?
Kendall, I think Jonathan Smith. and then maybe Amy LaBassonnet.
Yes.
That's super fun.
So bring some money to dunk some people there too.
Exactly.
Each one has a different group that the funds are going to for that.
Okay.
Are any of the artists that you mentioned people who have performed? I mean, I know Bill has at Wiltsey's. Is there a crossover?
There's not necessarily an intentional crossover, but you know, with Wiltsey's, we've tried to keep it within the local music scene a lot, so there is crossover. I'm trying to think who hasn't. I don't know if Bob, Reggie, and Robert haven't had official performances, but Bob and Reggie have been involved. Bob's emceed a lot of things. He used to run a Wiltsey's open mic night, actually. Yeah, so it's really amazing how much talent there is locally. You know, and as a musician, it's really hard to kind of break through all the noise and get out there. So hopefully this is a great chance for people to get to know some local people, some local musicians, hang out afterwards and chat with them a little bit. They're all amazing people. We really didn't have any no's, and they all jumped at it and wanted to participate.
And people on the wait list, apparently. Like,
Yeah, I think so.
already.
I think after the event, we're going to see some major fallout as far as people saying when.
Yeah, I don't
Can we
think
do
I've ever
this
heard of
again?
something like this locally. I mean, I've never heard of something like this ever.
Well,
I have not heard
years
of it
ago
locally.
we had the Porch Fest,
Okay.
where the musicians set up on the porch. I think that was the Historical Society that did it. Sunday afternoon, and it basically ringed the mill pond.
Okay.
And that's what people remember now.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember that on the cook's porch and all
Right,
up and down there.
yeah.
So, and all the I don't know if you call them venues, but the spots are all up and down just Main Street. Like, we're not going to Depot Park. It's
Correct.
just right
Yep.
here.
Right.
So there'll be 3 spots going at a time, all between Washington and Walden. And so, you know, they'll strategically be alternated to distance the sound a little bit, and then the other spots will be set up and tear down in between acts. So we put a lot of music to take in. So
Yeah.
my thought is skip the chair and just try and get
Right.
every
Yeah.
person, stop at one of the joints for a snack and a drink, and then get back out there and hear all of it.
Is there a rain date just in case Mother Nature decides to get tricky? What's the plan?
Don't speak for
Rain
it.
or
I know. Yeah, not gonna say.
Yes.
Sorry to bring it up.
It's just not gonna rain.
It's just
Right.
that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. We did talk about August 6th, which is the following Tuesday, but we're
Or thinking positive.
That's
yeah
right.
we're
Yeah,
in
totally.
for next week.
Yeah.
And then as far as parking, like, where do you think the best place is for people to park? Just
The way they normally do,
Okay.
quite frankly. There's
Okay.
always the Methodist Church parking
Yes.
lot if people are willing to walk.
yeah.
But, you know, down at Depot, behind where movement is.
Okay.
I have to share this little fact since you bring up parking,
Yes.
and then the Methodist Church, which you said if you're willing to walk. So I did a little experiment on Google Maps. I took Great Lakes Mall and I put it on top of Clarkston.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's bigger than that distance.
Yeah,
Is it really?
And people never have an issue walking the mall,
Yeah.
Right.
but then they don't want to park
Right.
there. But we have things that are worth walking the distance at Great Lakes
Yeah.
Mall. So
yeah.
We've talked about this before also when Eric Haven was mayor and he was on and we were kind of discussing, you know, the plans for parking, and obviously parking is a huge issue in Clarkston. And he was saying, you know, if you live anywhere, if you live in any city, you're going to walk a couple of blocks to get to wherever you're going. We're just very used to parking, you know, right in front
Well,
of.
even if you go to Birmingham or Royal Oak,
Yes.
Right.
you park and go walk 5 blocks to the store you were going to go to or the restaurant you were going to
Yes.
go to. And I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
And, you know, I live on Washington Street. People park down there all the time. We're happy to have people park down there.
Yeah.
You know, wherever they can. Residential streets are fair game. You know, you can. We accommodate. When you think about it, what I always equate it to is the Magic Bus. If you know the Magic Bus, they draw a bazillion,
Yeah.
3,000 people come to that concert.
Yes.
And somehow everybody gets parked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they get there.
Right. So,
It is interesting though, the Great Lakes crossing.
That's
Right.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good visual. Well, I think Robert was saying, we had Robert on talking about Rudy's and
Yeah.
the steakhouse, and he said if it's worth it, people will park and walk.
Right.
Whatever it is you're going to, dinner, the Buskfest.
Right.
But he was saying it is difficult to convince people to park a little further away and carry their groceries.
Yes.
Or, but people are going to walk for entertainment and for food.
Right.
Sure.
Places where they're going to spend a little extra time.
I'm curious, maybe this is you guys, maybe not. The pictures on the Altera Arts Building.
Those are all
you guys?
Clarkston Arts pictures, yeah.
Okay.
What happens, we promote artists. That's one of the goals that we have. We do a lot of cool stuff that's kind of the best kept secret. But, we offer scholarships every year to high school and elementary school kids, actually 6th grade up. So the art in the windows is circulated about, every 2 or 3 months. Local artists submit their work. We put them in the window. We put them on our website. They can be sold. We sell them through our website for the artist. And then when they recycle off, the picture still stays on our website. They can still sell it through there, and a new group of pictures is put up. And that's honestly, the generosity of Ann and Kurt, who let us go in there and basically do whatever we want.
Yeah.
They own that
So,
building as well.
right, yeah.
So the pictures, okay, what's the website so we can check it out?
Just clarkston.arts.org.
.org.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we've talked about that many times. There was a
Yeah.
couple pictures. I'm like, oh, I love that, and I
Yeah.
wasn't sure myself how to get to it, how to access it. I was going to climb into the outside the window.
Yeah. You'll find Clarkston Arts all over the place, like the garden walk that happened last week
Yes.
with the garden club. We had several artists that were painting in gardens for them. So our reach is farther than what people understand.
Yeah.
So we're slowly growing into more activities. On August 7th, we'll be having a Harmony in the Park event, which is geared to little bitty kids.
Okay.
Most of the attendees are 6 and under.
Okay.
We have March and Janet McCarty from Children. Nope, you just show up. Free event.
And what day is it?
That's the August 7th, which is a Wednesday at 10:30 in the morning down at
the
Depot
Depot?
Park.
Okay.
And that's been going on now, devoid of COVID, probably about 10 years, run by Mary Kay Hartz, who has done it forever. Not Mary Kay Hartz. Can't think of I have Mary Hartz on my but Mary Kay anyway runs that event, and it's really fun. And if you don't know Janet and March, they're amazing. They're the couple that do the big events at Somerset, like the Easter Bunny, the Christmas, all the music things that happen there. We're very fortunate to have them in Clarkston.
We just launched this new community app a couple months ago, and so we've put Buskfest in there, and we'll go ahead and put that event in there also. So if you have the app, you can go to the community calendar and find updates and info on that.
Cool.
Yeah, that's a cool thing for the community.
How's the app going?
It's going really well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very well designed.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
We have
So
these
what's
little
the address
banners
of
out
yours?
here.
Yeah.
So you can find it at connectingclarkston.com,
Okay.
or you can find the app just in the Google or Apple Play Store.
Okay.
Yeah, same name, Connecting Clarkston. It's free to download. It's just like a community
Cool.
hub is the idea.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So if people want to get more interested in either of your organizations, what's the best way? Like if you want more volunteers, I mean, you're the volunteer captain of Clarkston, but any
And you
other...
can find us on Facebook. That's the
Okay.
easiest way. Clarkston Arts on Facebook.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We're always posting. Just join Facebook, and you'll
Fine.
get all the updates of what we're doing. And if we're looking for specific volunteers,
Okay.
we post it there. And then stop by the tent, because we're going to have a sign-up sheet. So if you think you want to volunteer for just one thing, you can sign up. And
Okay. And how about with your main...
Yeah, so Main Street Clarkston Business and Community is the Facebook page. And we're relatively new to social media. We're a new 501c3, so just getting our following going. And, so yeah, you can find us there. And we're launching some volunteer projects. one kind of visible one has been we've been trying to weed and refinish the parking lot at Washington and Main. So for the last about 3 weeks, we've had volunteers on Tuesday mornings coming out, weeding. Jonathan Smith did a ton on his own before the parade. Paul Angelini from WizTech, Cara. There were kids out. It was a ton of fun. People pulling through and saying hi. And so we're hoping that's a real visible difference because it's a lot of people's first impression of town. And my understanding is that, it used to be really actively maintained by different groups.
When I was city manager, I recruited gardeners. And everybody was volunteered for a plot all over the city.
Yeah.
And it was their responsibility to keep it weeded, plant new flowers in the spring. We had a lot of really cool, fun gardens. We had a lady that did a fairy garden down by the village sign at Depot Park, which became like a local attraction. So, what I find, and I'm sure Brendan is finding the same thing, our community will step up. We just have to ask them. They don't know what needs to happen. To me, and I've been here for over 40 years, people love this town and are willing to do what they need to do to help us keep it going and keep the culture that we have here. We're pretty amazing.
I think sometimes it's just hard to know how to connect, which
Right.
is honestly part of why we're doing this is because we're just another avenue to reach out to other people and let them know some of the options and things happening. So I think,
Right.
I wonder when that stopped and if there's a way to bring that back and if that's actually kind of what you're doing.
It would be easy to bring back.
Yeah.
I think when I was doing it, I had 8 or 9 volunteers and got them instantly when I would post a request for them. And then we have people that just said, don't give away my garden. That's my garden. So, it would be pretty easy
the
to
idea of it
read.
being themed too, almost like an attraction to
Right,
see.
yeah. So that's pretty
To
easy.
both
to
your
do.
points too, the first one we did, it was a small crew. The chamber sent some people, and we took some photos and posted them. Immediately, we had people reaching out from all over Clarkston. When is the next one? I want to help. I didn't know. How did I not know this was happening? And so it's a struggle to get the word out there, but I think when people see something happening, they do want to participate.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
We'll keep us posted on that for sure. That's a lot
Do
of
you
good
have
things.
gardening gloves?
Okay. Ian, walking out right gardener. Ian's the gardener. If my husband's watching this, he would want to tell you that I currently have fake flowers. So that is not what I'll be signing up for.
That's so funny. Well, I feel like the volunteer idea. We talked to Chelsea O'Brien about this a lot because she has an army of volunteers.
Yeah, she does.
We've talked to a lot of different people who come on. Just like one of the things that people I think are intimidated by is the length of time. Like the
agree.
weekend, who was the I'm gonna forget his name, the weekend impact guy.
Oh, Russ.
Russ, yeah.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
some people can do a whole weekend, some people can do an hour, some people can. For the rest of my Tuesday is as long as I'm alive. I'd want to. So I feel like if there's a lot of different ways for people to volunteer their time, if they don't feel overwhelmed by
I
huge
agree.
commitment.
Totally.
So that
I'm finding now people's lives have changed so much. I see it in my own kids who have kids, so you know how busy you get. You feel like you just can't do a long-term commitment at all.
Yeah.
So you just kind of say no because they're going to
Right.
they're going to grab onto me and so if you're clear in saying, look, I only need an hour of your time, or I'm never going to bug you.
Yeah.
I think people are more willing
Yeah.
to come out, particularly if they can bring their kids too.
Oh yeah.
That makes a big difference.
Lessens the burden of
Right.
I have to arrange this
Yeah.
and that.
So I did a little parody post on LinkedIn, and I said, if you invite me to a meeting, just know my kids may unexpectedly show up. And it's the most successful post I've ever done, and so many people said, I say no to so much because I don't want to risk showing up with kids. And so Buskfest is family friendly. I think everything the arts does is pretty much
Everything,
family
yeah.
friendly.
That's good. Yeah.
And another thing that I'll plug a little bit too with Main Street and another great partner, the library. And Union Joints is the library brought trivia nights downtown, and we do them either at the Wood Shop or at the Union, and they're the third Wednesday of every month. They're totally free. They are family friendly. We get some more like middle school, high school age kids who will come and play with their parents, sort of thing. It's a ton of fun, and that's also not too long. It's about an hour and a half of your time.
Who moderates the trivia, or how does that work?
Do you know David Silverman?
No.
Well,
Should we?
you should have him on, and you should
He's
just ask him to
delightful.
do puns for an
Yeah.
hour.
Oh, jeez.
And he's amazing. So he MCs the trivia night. In true library fashion, it's not easy trivia. I always think I'm gonna know the
Right.
answers, and I know nothing.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of great people. We always raffle off something to support the Main Street program. A lot of times from Essence or another local business. So it's a little fundraiser, and it's just a great way to kind of enjoy the downtown on a Wednesday night. So.
We were just discussing signing our husbands up for trivia.
Yeah. They're
Yesterday.
big history buffs.
Yeah.
We're like, well, have a drink with you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but
It's
they
a lot of
asked
fun.
tricky
Yeah.
ones. The one I did was oldie TV shows, which
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought perfect for me.
They would love it.
I was not obscure questions.
Yeah.
It's like who's Opie's best friend? It's like
They're
so,
good.
Wait, I want to put that on our. We want to put that on our calendar
Yeah.
also. So
Yeah.
we'll have to make sure
Third
we get that.
Wednesday of every month.
And is that like until it ends? Isn't, or is it
Yeah.
just for the summer? Or okay.
Nope, it's. I think we're in our second year
Okay.
doing
fun.
it downtown here, and the joints have been great working with us to have that happen. And it's a really good time.
The Arts Council has another regular event I should probably tell you about. Starts back up in September. It's called the Artist Connect. It's the fourth Tuesday of every month at 6:30 at the library. And it's a totally informal meeting for local artists to get together. Lots of times people bring paintings or examples of their work. Sometimes people bring things to share, extra frames, extra maps. We were just talking at our board meeting last night. Someone said, oh, I have a whole tub of extra paint and things that were my wife's, and she's since passed away. Can I bring them? And you guys can distribute them. We try and have a speaker. Just a short speaker, but it's really just a very informal way. Where do you get your stuff matted at? You know, where do you find supplies online? A lot of networking. So it's the fourth Tuesday. Mary Hart's
Okay.
heads
For
it
real?
up. The real Mary Hart's. You should have her on to talk about it. It's a very cool
We'll add
event.
that in too.
Yeah,
there's
it's
a lot
a-
of good stuff going on.
There is. Yeah, it's our whole goal is to get, because as an artist, sometimes you feel isolated. And to know that there are other people around who do the same thing you do, and sometimes you just need help.
Yeah.
You know, we had someone speak on how to market your art online. You know, things that are very pertinent to what you do, but not the general public.
Yeah.
You know, so we actually had somebody last month who came to illustrate how you could take a Bratz doll, erase their face, and paint it to look exactly like someone you know.
Oh.
It was really cool.
Not
so
to treat
unexpected.
No, she painted it to look exactly like her best friend and gave it to her for her birthday.
Oh.
It was so cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we do, you know, all these kind of quirky, fun
Yeah.
things. But
That's fun.
And you
Yeah.
just had the big band tonight, right? Was that in May?
we did do
That sounded
a
awesome.
swing dance at the Masonic Temple in March. We had 400 people show up.
my
I mean, who knew there's
In
a
Detroit, the Masonic
the
Temple?
Masonic Temple?
Oh, wow.
A band from Clarkston, the whole premise of it is it's a battle of the big bands.
Okay.
So there's one big band at one end of the ballroom. We use the Crystal Ballroom at the Masonic. Another big band at the other end, and then they alternate playing. And then these 400 swing dancers dance all night.
Wow.
And then the audience votes on the band that is the winner for that evening. Our Clarkston band won. which was really cool.
So it's like a dueling.
It's a
big
dueling
band?
big band. And, you know, I started going to it a few years ago with Leanna Hahn, who had the connection into the event. And you can't believe people show up in Army uniforms, women are dressed, hair rolled like a 40s kind of thing. It's really an interesting crowd. And then consequently now, from that, we are now meeting with a man who does the productions at Wildwood in Lake Orion, and he wants to do a swing dance over in Oxford. He's got a facility, so the Arts Council is going to join with him to help him understand how he can promote that event.
400 people know how to swing dance? Like, how do
You know, there is like a swing dance group that follows bands all over Detroit. Until you get inside that, you have no idea that niche is there. And, you know, if you'll notice, we've seen dance studios kind of popping up.
Yes.
Dance studios train in that dance and then bring students.
Okay.
So it's become a very interesting wide circle. Well, people from downriver, Ann Arbor, East Side all come. And this event is like a premier event for the swing dance people.
Better get lessons.
Yeah.
Is that like the Fred Astaire dance place that's down here? It's amazing,
and you almost have to see it.
Yeah. Can you go and not dance the first time?
Of
just
course.
To, like, observe.
And we actually offer a 1-hour dance lesson before the bands start playing. But yeah, like I don't dance, but I watch, and it's great fun. It is terrific, and the music is fabulous.
Yeah.
You know, it's a true big band.
Yeah. Okay.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
You guys do lots of fun stuff.
Yeah, it really is.
Nice.
So we're trying not to be such a secret in town.
Right.
You know, people need to know more about us and you
Yeah.
know what we do.
I want to encourage the next generation to like get into all these
Right.
things, and that's just
Yeah, you'd be
Love
surprised
catching
at the
it.
number of young people at the swing
Really?
dance stuff. It's mostly, I would say, 30-somethings.
Oh, how neat.
But think about what great exercise it is.
I think our senior all-night party, class of '99 at Deer Lake Racket Club, they taught us swing dancing.
Oh,
It was
yeah?
like, yes.
How fun.
It's harder than it looks.
So
Yeah.
it's in there somewhere. You
Yes.
have it.
Yeah.
It's in your
Bring
brain.
your skills.
Yeah. Larry, guess what you're doing next
Yeah.
year? Oh man. But you guys are doing so many fun things for the community, and like just feel like really appreciative to have you guys and
You are
spearheading-
too.
Well, we just get to talk about it, which is fun.
But you're a huge part of it. You guys don't realize how much we depend on you guys and what you do to help us. You know, because, I mean, part of the problem is, like, you have to come to my board meeting to understand this. Artists aren't exactly focused. Sometimes it's like, you know, running a meeting is like herding squirrels because they're all over the place jumping. And to get someone to do all the promotion and marketing that we need, you know, is really hard for us because they are so easily distracted and like, oh yeah, I was going to do that, you know. So having you guys around that help keep.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Paula. Paula helps organize Buskfest as well.
Oh, Paula,
Yeah.
she's one of the Clarkston family farm. I feel
Oh,
like
she's a
Paula's
big
everywhere.
volunteer, yeah.
Yes. All right.
So, you know,
Paula
we're
Brandon.
fortunate to have you guys for it. We
Well,
appreciate
we're-
you more than you know.
Be able to help, and we're so happy to have you guys on and share about this and
Yeah.
all the awesome things you're doing. We'll for sure have to have you come back.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would love to be back.
Yeah,
Always happy to talk about what we do.
And like your whole life story in Clarkston is, you know,
Yes.
we just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
Other topics, TBD.
We've been here a long time. I've been here a long time.
Yeah. I'm sure you have some little gems about Clarkston.
Oh, I do.
I-
Some real interesting
I-
jobs.
Is there anything else that we should cover before we wrap up today? Anything we forgot to mention?
Maybe
or-
just a reminder on the date and time, next Tuesday, July 30th, 6 to 9. Park anywhere and just come downtown and you'll find Buskfest.
park at the Methodist Church. It's
Yes.
a shorter distance
Less
than the
than
Great
Great
Lakes
Lakes Mall.
Crossing. You can do it. Get your steps in. Well, thank you. Well,
Thank you.
for coming and chatting with us. I can't wait for Buskfest. And
Yeah.
Me too.
now that I know where to get the info about the paintings that I see on the building, I'm very
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
There's